Hello dear students, I welcome all of you on this platform. In last lecture of BSc third year, we have discussed about the basic components of DNA, that is uh, nitrogenous bases, sugar molecule with petto sugar, whether it is deoxyribose or ribose sugar. Apart from nitrogenous bases, their molecular weight and how they are paired with one another, all we have discussed in last lecture. Now in this lecture, we will discuss about the further point, that is structure of DNA, how these different component of DNA, that is nitrogenous bases, pentose sugar and phosphoric acid, bind with one another and how they form a polynucleotide chain. In this, the backbone of DNA is consists of deoxyribose linked by phosphodiester bridge. The statement it says the main backbone or the structural backbone of DNA, it is nothing but a phosphodiester bridge or linkage, we can say. Backbone of DNA consists of deoxyriboses linked by phosphodiester bridge. When two nucleotides bind or forming a linkage with one another, that linkage is called as phosphodiester bond of phosphodiester linkage, and they continuously bind with one another and their polynucleotide chain can be formed. So while discussing about the only, we have to discuss here the structure of DNA. So that's why we have taken deoxyribose sugar. While in case of RNA, we will take, or we can say it is a ribose sugar. The 3' hydroxyl, 3' hydroxyl with third position, third carbon पे present होने वाला hydroxyl group of one sugar joined to 5' hydroxyl of adjacent sugar. Third position पे the carbon molecule which is at third position and its OH group joined with the 5' adjacent of sugar by an internucleotide linkage called as phosphodiester bond. When two sugar molecules, the third position hydroxyl group and fifth position hydroxyl group, form a linkage with one another by losing a water molecule, and that linkage is called as phosphodiester bond, and that linkage is continuously forming one another. When new sugar molecule is added, it again forms a linkage same type, and that chain is continuously forming. Purine and pyrimidine bases carry the genetic information, whereas sugar and phosphate group perform structural role. Here, one nucleotide is made up from one nitrogenous base, whether it is purine or pyrimidine, pentose sugar, that is deoxyribose sugar, and phosphoric acid. That one nitrogen base, deoxyribose sugar and phosphoric acid molecule synthesize, that structure is called as one nucleotide, and in that nucleotide the nitrogenous bases, whether it is purine or pyrimidine, they carry out the function of carry the genetic information of that particular individual from one generation to another generation. We have already discussed in importance of DNA that genetic information or the main role of nucleic acids is to forward or to carry the genetic information of that particular species or individual. Whereas sugar molecule, that is deoxyribose sugar molecule and phosphate group, perform a structural role. They form a backbone of that particular DNA molecule and they are present at periphery of that particular DNA strand. Primary, secondary and tertiary structure of nucleic acids have same meaning like protein. Here, while discussing about the primary, secondary and tertiary structure of protein, we have already discussed, or we will discuss in biochemistry, that protein molecule or the structure of protein is made from primary, secondary and tertiary. Here, the continuous in primary structure we have to discuss about the different molecule we are bonding with one another. In second, there is secondary molecule, they are acting or exerting different force, that's why the coiling is started. In tertiary molecule, more complex structure can be formed in that protein molecule. In case of quaternary structure, there is again another folding of that particular molecules, and that structure becomes more coiled and more complicated structures. So in same way, here in case of primary structure, here we have to only discuss about the nitrogenous bases phosphodiester linkage between one strand and phosphodiester linkage between one and second and adjacent sugar. In case of secondary structure, there is complementary strand formation and supercoiling can be started. And in case of tertiary structure, again that structure can be becomes complex as that like the protein molecule. So it is nothing but a statement regarding the structure similar to that of the protein molecule. Here we can see a phosphodiester linkage between a single or two nucleotides. Here it is nothing but a adenine nucleotide. Adenine nitrogenous base. It is the 9th position molecule having a linkage with 5th carbon molecule of deoxyribose sugar, and same deoxyribose sugar third molecule is having a linkage with phosphoric acid. Again that phosphoric acid having a linkage with adjacent sugar molecule, its 5th carbon molecule. Okay, so here third molecule and 5th molecule are continuously forming a linkage by means of phosphoric acid, and that linkage is called as phosphodiester linkage. Here another deoxyribose sugar is another deoxyribose sugar. They are present or they act in the maintaining the structure of DNA and at present in periphery. While in case of nitrogenous bases, or we can say nitrogenous bases, whether it is purine or pyrimidine, they are present inside the DNA, and again that particular nitrogen base, it form another bond with another nitrogen base. Again that sugar molecule is present adjacent to that nitrogen base, and phosphoric acid again forming a backbone of that DNA. So in this way that phosphodiester linkage can be formed and polynucleotide chain is moving forward. So it is nothing but basic linkage between how the nitrogenous one nucleotide is bind with another adjacent nitrogenous base by means of this phosphodiester linkage. Now we have to discuss about the double helical structure of DNA. Normally you can say DNA is a double stranded. Deoxyribose nucleic acid is nothing but a double stranded structure, and J.D. Watson and Francis Crick, who suggested a double helical model of DNA in 1953, and it is a more valuable contribution in this field. So that's why for this his contribution they were awarded with a Nobel Prize. It is a very respectable award in this field of medicine. So they are awarded with a Nobel Prize in medicine in 1962. Normally they have defined the B forms of DNA or different models of DNA. In that they suggested DNA is nothing but a double stranded DNA, and commonly present form of DNA is nothing but a B form of DNA. So for this contribution they awarded with a Nobel Prize. DNA molecule consists of double helical chain which are coiled around a common axis, forming a right-handed double helix and produces a major groove having a width of 12 angstrom and minor groove that is 6 angstrom. Normally you can say right-handed structure, that it is a single strand DNA, another complementary strand of DNA, and they form a complementary structure with one another and forming a major and minor groove. Major groove having a width of 12 angstrom, while minor groove having a 6 angstrom, that is its depth. So it is nothing but a structural symmetry of the particular double stranded DNA. Phosphate and sugar unit found at the periphery while nitrogen bases at the center. We have already discussed here. This sugar molecule and phosphate group which are present at the periphery of the double stranded DNA, while nitrogenous bases are present at the center. Diameter of helix is 20 angstrom. It is nothing but a diameter of that particular helix where nitrogenous bases forming a bond with one another, and the complete diameter is nothing but a 20 angstrom unit and bases are 3.4 angstrom apart from the axis and are related by rotation of 36 degree. Continuously pairing is carried out, one nucleotide is pairing with one another, and that difference between one nucleotide and adjacent nucleotide, it is nothing but a 3.4 angstrom, and that's why in the rotation of the nucleotide due to the strain appear due to the bonding between nucleotides or adjacent nucleotides, it there appears a strain. That's why that DNA strand becomes a coiled structure, and that coiling, or we can say rotation of that particular strand of DNA it at 36 degree. That's why in one rotation we can say there are 10 nucleotide molecules can be present. The helical structure repeat after 10 residue on each chain. That's why the helical structure of that DNA strand it repeat after 10 residues on each chain. Two chains are held together by hydrogen bond between pairs of bases. Normally we have discussed the single-stranded DNA, but there is complementary DNA strand, and that two DNA strands are find a double helical structure of DNA, and the two strands are bind together by means of hydrogen bond between nitrogenous bases, and that bond gives permanent or complete structure to that particular double-stranded DNA. Complementary base pair, how the complementary base pair pairing can be done or carried out? Adenine always pair with thymine with two hydrogen bonds. We have already discussed the different nitrogen bases, adenine and guanine. These are the purine bases, while thymine and cytosine, these are the pyrimidine bases. Here, adenine, which is a member of purine base, it always pairs with the thymine by means of two hydrogen bond, while in case of guanine it is a purine base and cytosine is another pyrimidine base. Guanine always pairs with the cytosine by forming a 3 hydrogen bond. Okay. In case of RNA, only thymine is replaced by the uracil. All these 3 nitrogen bases can be constant. So always adenine pair with the thymine. Adenine never pair with the guanine or cytosine. That's why it is nothing but a complementary base pairing, we can say. If we have a structure of a single strand and having a sequence A, T, G, C, C, G, T, C, what we can say, the complementary sequence is fixed. Always adenine pair with the thymine and thymine pair guanine pair with the cytosine, or vice versa, cytosine pair with the guanine and thymine pair with the adenine. So it is nothing but a complementary base pairing. Here we can see a double-stranded structure of DNA. Here nothing but a deoxyribose sugar. It is nothing but a phosphoric acid, and this is the nitrogenous basis. It is nothing but a thymine nitrogen base. It pair or it form a double hydrogen bond or two hydrogen bond with adenine, and adenine it having a structure or phosphorylation linkage with deoxyribose sugar and phosphoric acid. They are present at the periphery, while in case of these nitrogen bases which are present at the center of that double strand. So it is moving downward and it is moving in upward direction. So here this is nothing but a 5' end, as this 5th position carbon molecule is involved in the bond formation with adjacent sugar molecule, and other hand that 3rd position carbon molecule is involved to next carbon sugar molecule which will be adjacent to that particular sugar molecule. Or here we can see the 3rd position and 5th position. That's why 3' position we can see. It is nothing but a 5' to 3' direction, and it is nothing but a 3' to 5' direction. One chain is moving upward and another is moving in downward direction. Here in case of second nucleotide, that deoxyribose sugar molecule, phosphoric acid molecule, it is forming a structure with 5th carbon of deoxyribose sugar, and 3rd is involved in the forming the bond with cytosine. It is another nucleotide, and it form or he is attached with the guanine by forming a 3 hydrogen bonds. So in this way, these nitrogenous bases are continuously repeated, and that nucleotide chain is continuously forming, one in upward direction one is we can say in forward direction, one in reverse direction. So in this way, nitrogenous bases or double stranded DNA can be formed. It is nothing but a double lethal structure of particular DNA. This is nothing but DNA structure, double stranded DNA structure. It is nothing but a backbone which is formed by the linkage between sugar molecule and phosphoric acid, while the nitrogenous bases are present at the center. And these pentose sugar and phosphoric acid molecule are present at the periphery of the double stranded DNA. Here, guanine always pairing with the cytosine by means of 3 hydrogen bond, while adenine always pairing with the thymine, or we can say thymine always pairing with the adenine by forming a 2 hydrogen bonds. It is nothing but a planar structure of double stranded DNA. Here, it is nothing but a coil structure of particular double stranded DNA strand. Due to the forming bonding between these nitrogenous bases, coiling of that DNA strand is occur. That's why they forms a groove between this coiling, super coiling of the particular DNA. So that's why they are. It is nothing but called as a major groove, and it is nothing but called as minor groove. Okay. So these are nothing but a gap formed between or coiling. Due to coiling, they form a gap between two nitrogenous bases of the coil. So that's why they are called to be major groove and minor groove. So these are nothing but a one coiling here. That's why after 36 degrees Celsius, 36 angstrom rotation here we can say, and each nitrogen base are apart from one another up to 3.4 angstrom. So it is nothing but a structure of double stranded DNA, how the coiling and complementary sequencing of nitrogenous bases is carried out, and how the DNA strand, which is planar structure, is now present in the super coil form, and nothing but we can say it is nothing but a B form, which is normally present in majorly present in all forms of DNA. Here, antiparallel strand. Double helix DNA comprises of two oppositely moving polynucleotide strands, one in 3' to 5' direction, while another is in reverse direction, that is 5' to 3' direction. So one strand is called as the basic, we can say primer. It is nothing but one strand, and it is a, we can say it is complementary or anti-parallel strand. They are moving parallel to one another, one in 3' to 5' direction, another in 5' to 3' direction. Purine and pyrimidine ratio. It is nothing but a Chargaff's ratio or Chargaff's rules. Here it says on DNA, total number of purine is always equal to the total number of pyrimidine. That is, adenine plus guanine ratio is always equal to the cytosine plus thymine ratio. This is nothing but called as Chargaff's rule. Normally we have say adenine always pairs with the thymine and guanine always pairs with the cytosine. So the total amount of adenine present in that particular nucleotide, always there is a equal amount of thymine is always present in the double stranded DNA. Also, total number of guanine present in the DNA strand is always equal to the total number of cytosine present in that DNA strand. That's why this is nothing but a Chargaff's rule. Complementary strand, the two polynucleotides in double helix are always complementary. Complementary we can say here guanine is cytosine, thymine is adenine, so it is nothing but a complementary base pair. So these are nothing but the characteristics. Anti-parallel strand always present, purine-pyrimidine ratio is constant, we can say, or nothing but it follows the Chargaff's rules. Complementary strand, we can say if there is presence of adenine, there is always presence of thymine in case of double strand. 6 different morphological forms of DNA are suggested that are in the form of A form, B form, C form, D form, E form, and Z form. These are nothing but different forms of DNA which is present in the environment. So they have different structure, different symmetry, different geometry, different characteristics. So it is nothing but double helical structure of DNA. In next lecture we will discuss about the different forms of DNA and how they are differ from one